welcome to the Magic Behind the Ukrainian Actors featuring Valeria Fokina. Thanks for joining us today, and you are the first one who joined us. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for inviting me to talk with you and with everyone who's going to be watching this.
Yeah, we are so happy that you told us you would join us. Because we think it's finally necessary that we introduce you actors to the community because there are not much possibilities to see something about you. And for the first thing, I would ask you, maybe you introduce yourself. Who are you? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Please.
Okay. My name is Valeria, and in Ukraine we have like little short, cute names for each name. So my full name is Valeria, but that's what basically children would call me if I were a teacher or something like that. So for my friends, I'm Lera or Lerchik, Lerachka, whatever they like. But I figured that for English speaking people, it's much easier to pronounce it as Valeria or Valerie. So whatever you would like to call me, I get whatever you can pronounce. It would be totally fine. So I'm Valeria. I'm 25. I was born and raised in Kiev. I've been living here for my whole life, the capital of Ukraine. I'm an actress and a singer, and I was acting since I was a kid because I guess around when I was around 6 years old, my mom saw that I have too much energy and she was too tired all the time because it was an endless energy pouring from me. And she figured I need to do something with that. And so she sent me to an acting school. It was like a theater for children mostly. You could be there till like you're 15, 16 or something like that. And I've been there, a student of this theater for like 10 years. So it was never actually a question for me what I want to do in life, because that's what I've been doing basically my whole life. And I'm really glad that my mom saw something in me and she made that decision. But the funny story, I remember that the first day I got to that theater school, it was stretching class. So we would stretch for like 3 hours and it was painful. And when the class ended, I came to my mom and I said, we will never go back to this place ever again. I don't want to be here. And my mom was like, look, but it was not even like an acting class. Let's make a deal. You go here for 1 month. And if after the 1 month you say to me, no, I don't want to do that, we won't do that. And the next class was the acting class, and I fell in love. And I was like, no, mom, we're staying. And I stayed there for like 10 years, and then it became my job and everything. So I'm really glad that my mom made a very smart decision saying, like, let's try 1 month. And it was negotiable. So I was like, okay, 1 month sounds fair. So yeah,
Yeah.
if it wasn't for my mom, maybe I would have been a translator or I don't know, like a teacher or something like that. So yeah, my mom made a big impact on my biggest passion hobby becoming my profession and my job.
That's the best way to do it. I mean, you can be glad that you could manage it beside going to your normal school and going to the acting class. Um, I don't know. I guess somewhere there are schools where you have both the normal school and acting classes at the same time. Um, but that's great if you had the support like that from your mom and she didn't force you. She let you decide if you want to do it or not. And that's actually the correct way.
Yeah.
No, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like for the first 9 years of school, I was going to the regular school and going to the theater school. But then on the 10th and 11th grade, we found a school in Kiev, which basically have both. So you
Hmm.
have like regular classes in the morning, and then after 2 p.m., you have acting classes.
Hmm.
And we found that school. We tried to go there. We passed the exams, and for 2 years, I was studying there in this acting school. But really, it was never a question what I want to do, because like for a lot of teenagers, it's really hard when you're like 16 years old, you finish school, and you're like, okay, I need to go to the university, college, whatever. What do I want to do in life? And most of
Yeah,
the teenagers don't know the answer to that question. And it's okay, because like you're only forming your personality and everything.
that's right.
How could you know what you want to do in life? But I consider myself lucky because I always knew and I just went for it. And when I was in the third grade, I said to my mom that I also want to play piano. And mom was like, "Oh God, please, no, no, no piano, no additional classes that I will have to walk you to." But then she gave up, and in the third grade, I was like 8 or 9 years old. I went to the musical school, and I've managed to
Well,
do all of that at the same time. And again, I wouldn't be able to do that without my mom, because she's been to every single concert, every single performance, every single play. She used to like help me with my costumes and made something herself. And it was a huge support. So I'm really grateful that, because the profession like this, it's understandable for parents not to be supportive of this
yeah,
profession because it's
yeah,
unstable, because you never know, and it's very subjective. So I understand parents who are like, no, get a normal job, then maybe go to acting. But this doesn't work like this. It's also a profession. You also have to study for it and train for it. So I'm really happy that my parents, my mom, were supportive of that.
that sounds amazing. I mean, in your young age, you didn't really have much free time to play with your friends and stuff because there wasn't any time for it because you've been normal school, acting school, musical school. So does your day have only 24 hours or more? I'm just asking for a friend.
Yeah, but all of my friends were in the theater school or music school. I had a great childhood, even though I didn't have much time to do something else. But all of these performances, festivals, it was so exciting. I had all of my bestie of like more than 12 or 13 years now, maybe even more. It's hard to count. She's from the theater school, and we've been friends since. And all of my closest people came from that period of time, and it was so much joy. Plus I was learning how to act, plus I was investing in my future profession. It's like a perfect combo for me.
Yeah, that sounds really amazing. Some young children should think about what you did, and that's actually inspiring. Um, yeah, so that means actually you already took some questions from me, but that's
Sorry,
okay.
I talk a lot, so you can interrupt me. I won't be
No,
offended.
that's all good. That's all good. Um, so, yeah, actually, you answered already because I wanted to ask if you have other art creativities beside normal acting, but you said you are singing. You are dancing as well?
Uh, like I danced, of course, because we had like dance classes in theater school, in the university, obviously. I don't dance professionally, but I've learned a lot of different styles and Ukrainian dance, and like some of the modern contemporary dance and everything. So I have a knowledge. I don't dance now, but I'm thinking about like joining some dance class just for myself, because it's a nice burst of energy and it's the other side
And we
to
could
learn your
see you
body.
dancing already in one of your verticals.
Yeah, I did.
And
Like as I say, I have
Billionaire
some
and the
skills.
backup, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And it was very exciting. I loved that vertical so much. It was so fun
Yeah.
to
I
work with.
just watched it last night again, and Nazar is dancing. I guess he used to dance too, so it was a perfect combo. Uh, um, yeah, let's see. What can we ask now? Yeah, did you only yeah, on the beginning you played in theaters, right?
In
Or
the I
or
mhm.
did you switch already directly to some movies or TV shows or something else?
I used to be in this like children's theater for 10 years. It was not any kind of like a professional, national, academic, whatever theater. Then I went to the university, and when I got to the university, I thought that I want to be a theater actor. As I guess almost all of the students, when they just enter the university, think that they want to be. But then I guess I had my first ever shooting on the second year of the university. And I realized that I want to do that. I want to do movies. I want to do TV series. I want to do some acting on screen. And I don't say that I will never work in a theater. I would love to. I'm just saying that I want to be passionate and responsible in one field. Although many actors
Mhm.
could combine it and could be both
Many of
theater and movie
Yeah,
actors, but for me, I want
many
to
of your
do,
colleagues doing that.
yeah, yeah, and it's impressive. For me, I want to put all of my effort in the one field because I can always go to the theater, try to enter the theater at any age, basically. But for the movies, I guess, especially for women, like the age, the appearance, and everything, it plays a little bit of a role. So I figured that I want to try to build my career in that field. And actually acting in the theater and acting on screen is two different types of acting. And so I don't wanna, for me, I don't feel like I would be able to like split and do a good job and develop my career in both of those fields equally.
Yeah,
So I decided that I want to do movies. I want to try to build a good career here, and then I'll see. Because of course I want to work in the theater, but I guess it's not the right time for me now.
yeah. Um, if you say you prefer to play in movies, are you? I mean, we all know you from the verticals and from the mini movies which are published on YouTube by Love Busters, Dramatize Me, and so on. Um, are you acting in TV shows or cinema movies or something like that?
Yeah, I act in Ukrainian TV series mostly. And I have a movie which was actually filmed in English and Ukrainian. It was a festival art house movie, but it's
Mhm.
not available anywhere, unfortunately. But yeah, I act mostly in a Ukrainian TV series. Of course, I'm dreaming of a good movie, Ukrainian movie, maybe historical movie. Of course,
Yeah,
as any actor would dream of a big main role in a movie, in a cinema movie or whatever. Yeah, of course, I'm dreaming of it. I'm making my way to it, trying. But basically, it's Ukrainian TV series. Yeah.
yeah. And how did you find your way to the vertical world or mini movie world? How did you find this way? Your agency introduced you to for applied for your audition, or how that happened?
So I guess. Yeah, it was in the beginning of the full-scale invasion in Ukraine, so it was like 2022, where it was no acting jobs at all. I was working
Hmm.
as a fixer and translator for journalists because thank God I know English. So I was able to do at least some work and be useful. I was spreading like the truth about the war and I was working with the journalists, European American journalists in Ukraine. And then I have an agent, and I got this edition because Ukrainian production was looking for an English-speaking actors. So I went there to that audition, and after that, I got my first short movie. for Dramatize Me. I guess it was Dramatize Me at that point. And yeah, so I started to work for this production who makes this short movies and verticals in the summer of 2022. And it was so good to be acting again in English, which was also very exciting because, first of
Yeah,
all, for me, those verticals and short movies is a great opportunity to practice to act in English. Because in
yeah,
Ukrainian TV series, of course, we act in Ukrainian. And of course, all of us English-speaking actors in Ukraine want to once have like a big Netflix show or for whatever streaming platform or a Hollywood
yeah,
movie. Of course, it's a dream, like any actor would say so. And so it's a good way to practice your English, to learn how to act in English, because it's a different language, it's a different melodic, it's a different logic. It's so much
yeah.
different from Ukrainian. So that's how I started, and I participated in short movies like every month, basically. And it
You
was in the
worked a lot,
beginning of the war.
not just you, all your colleagues. Like I mentioned in my video on YouTube before, only on Dramatize Me, there are around 1,600 mini movies. So you actors are some busy bees. I can tell. And that's amazing, actually. And yeah, but go on, how you found the verticals? Because the verticals, I guess, worldwide started in end of 2023, at
I
least.
think
The
so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess it was just another kind of job within that production. So I remember that we were doing this short videos. It was Dramatize Me, Be Kind, Love Busters, different kinds of. And then I just got an audition for a vertical. It was a test vertical. I don't believe it was aired or anything or posted. It was about the wolves and everything, that theme, that topic. And we filmed this vertical, and I guess the production realized that this could work. And this is actually a very brilliant idea because a lot of people nowadays only use their phones. They don't like people watch movies in TikTok. Like basically they're going part two, part three, and they just can watch the whole movie in one TikTok account. So
yeah,
it's like it was a very smart decision of someone to think of
yeah,
creating movies and series for your phone. And yeah, and after that, we just got more and more auditions for those kind of verticals, and it just started like that. It was just
yeah.
another kind of job that were brought to us among this
Yeah.
production.
I mean, I don't know which of your verticals been the first one, because of some verticals I don't really have the release date. I just know they came out in 2024. But you played, for example, in Taming Mr. Black. You had just had a short a role in there. You played Amber, the totally cocky and arrogant employee of
Yay!
Billion Black. Who won? Yeah, you was really, really bad,
Yeah.
but I liked it. And then we have Love Cup to the Mafia boss. You had the role, just a really small role. It was Sarah. You was a mate of the Torex
Yeah.
clan.
Oh God, yeah.
Um,
Even I don't remember that. It's impressive how
See,
you managed to
just ask
collect all
me.
of
Just ask me. But then you got a few bigger roles and lead roles, like yeah, like Billionaire disguised as a gigolo. You played Charlotte. I don't want to go too deeply into to the storyline, because the people should watch those verticals, because they are very, very good. And on our channel, we will publish soon some yeah, some more information about what's going on in those verticals. But you had actually a great role in there, because from the pregnant woman who got betrayed by her husband, and find her way to a strip club. And yeah, I don't want to say you didn't become a stripper. No, I didn't wanted to say that, but a
Good
very
thing to mention.
interesting, yeah, Um, but a very interesting storyline with betrayal, intrigues, and lies start. But it was amazing, and I mean, you and Nazar Grabar, you were matching perfectly. It wasn't the only movie where you both been in, but it was a great match. And what vertical I saw yesterday too, it was My Blind Husband is a Billionaire.
Hmm.
I actually didn't recognize you at first, and 2 days ago I said, hold on. How blind could I be to don't recognize you? You played Elizabeth Lisa Hudson, who got into a car accident and lost her parents, and the sister became very sick, and you needed money for her surgery. And so you crossed your way with Pablo
Tekuchev.
I'm
It's a
yeah,
hard
I'm
one,
so
yeah.
bad at pronouncing the last names of you Ukrainian actors. I'm so sorry about that, but I will learn it.
Yeah.
And the storyline was great too, because in each vertical, actually, it's always about betraying, intrigues, lying, and but still, it's in a great way. And I will say something to verticals after I introduce your verticals. Um, the next movie, which actually is one of my favorite of all of them, is Waking Up Married to My Crush.
Uh-huh.
Sorry for my language, guys, but you been a bad. No, you been the good one. Sorry, you been the good one. You was a good friend of Jasmine,
Yeah.
and I. On the beginning, I couldn't really figure out, are you just a friend, or are you maybe lying to her as well? But you were the good one,
Yeah.
even if you don't get recognized that easily because you had short hair.
Yeah.
Um, but it's a very good movie too. But now, actually, the most interesting vertical of you is the Billionaire's backup, right?
That's true. I agree.
Because you played not just one role, you played two. You played the good girl and yeah, the villain, the bitch, however you want to call it. And that's a question because you played twins, or you played twins, and they couldn't be more different than you been. The one is the gold digging, lying one who's all about the money and power, and the other one is the lovely young woman who's actually taking care of others and want to save her boyfriend. No, her fiance.
Yeah.
You already been you was already your fiance, but yeah, it was actually great to see because that's one question I have. How was it to play two people in one movie?
Actually, this is one of my favorite verticals as well that I
Yeah.
participated in because uh, it was a challenge. It was an acting challenge because you have to play two different people with two different personalities, motives, and when I got an audition for this vertical, I was like, I want it so bad. I need to do the best self-tape I can because when you got the first part of an audition would be a self-tape. You would record it at home.
Mhm.
And then, if everything goes well, you'll go to the audition, where you would be trying with different partners, with
Mhm.
different partners. You can also have other girls which are also participating, trying to
Yeah.
participate in this vertical. Yeah, so this casting thing. So I, excuse me, I wanted this role so much because it's like a dream of an actor to play twins. And so, yeah, long story short, I got the part. And it actually, I have a video, I'll send it to you, of my home self-tape. I
Oh,
recorded
we
it. Yeah, I recorded it and then I edited myself And I spent, I guess, 3 or 4 hours at home recording it. And I was recording all over my little apartment. I started at the front door, and then I went to the down to the couch, and like it was so exciting. And I'm proud of this self-tape. Sometimes when I need to send some of my materials to different casting directors, I just send them this self-tape because it shows
Yeah.
both sides of me, and
Yeah.
it's like it's a good self-tape. I love it. So yeah, it was challenging, but we had the great crew. And one other thing about our verticals and our production, we basically been working together for like for me it's fourth year. For other
Hmm.
actors, it could be 5 and more years. So you basically know everyone. And when you go on set, you don't have those nerves of the first day when you don't know the director, you don't know the makeup
Yeah.
department, you don't know, you basically know everyone. And it's like going to a party, but you have to work a little bit. And it's
Yeah.
always so much fun, and you feel very relaxed, and it's much easier to bring something because they're basically all of your friends and you're all working
Yeah.
for this product to be good.
Yeah, I
And
figured out that, sorry for interrupting you.
yeah, yeah.
I figured out that you actors and actresses are very close to each other, because sometimes we can see it in the stories that you're hanging out in private and going to drink a coffee or whatever, and it's amazing. So yeah, I mean there are a lot of more actors, but you getting close. It looks like a huge family.
Yeah, it is. It actually is. And it's not only among the actors, like I have really good friends who are directors, and I met them during filming
Mhm.
one of those verticals.
Yeah,
And it's amazing. It's really a community of people who is looking in one direction and trying to
yeah,
do something good together. So yeah, and going back to that vertical, it was so much fun. I had a person, a stunt person, who was
mhm,
my double, I guess. I guess that's the word in English.
mhm,
So in the scenes where there were two of us, she would be standing with her back, and I would be talking to her. Then we will switch, change makeup and everything, and then she would be doing the second sister. But why is it was so interesting? First of all, of course, I'm wearing a wig because it was impossible to find not
that
only the
was a
person.
question which I had too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Almost in all of my verticals, I'm wearing a wig, but and it's like our makeup person, Zhenya. I love her so much. She creates crazy characters. That's all comes from your head, from her imagination. Like waking up married to my crush, I was playing this lesbian and I had this short hair,
Yeah,
and like I had lenses, I had like brown eyes, I have green eyes, but she saw me as a brown eyes, short hair, some like earrings, and so masculine. And it adding so much to a character.
yeah,
It's so much easier to act when you have so many tools that helps you to be a different person.
yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, and coming back to that vertical, Billionaire's backup bride. I was wearing a wig, so we had two wigs for me and for the person who was playing my
Yeah,
sister. Yeah. And it was so much fun because, for example, I'm playing Eliana, the
the
evil
bad one.
sister. Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, and we're entering the scene and we're reading the lines and everything. I have to think, what am I gonna do when I'm gonna change my clothes and everything and be the Alana, the good sister? I need to show it to this person. How will I stand? At which time I will grab my cup? Or at which time I would like cross my arms like that. I need to think of that in advance. Tell
Yeah,
this to her. So she would do that while I was acting this sister. Because if I don't say anything to her, she would do it whatever her way she wants, whatever
yeah,
her like personality and she as an actor would do that. And then I'll just need to repeat that. But for
yeah,
me to be able to play it acted in my way, I need to tell her in advance.
yeah,
So it was like we on set, we were joking that we were bipolar because, and this is not a good thing to joke about, mental health issues is not a good thing. But
Yeah.
under that, all of the stress and under that, I'm playing two different people and I need to, and I'm standing in this costume and makeup of evil sister, but I need to think in my mind, how would I do this thing as not an
And
evil sister?
yeah, and you need to learn both scripts.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
I don't know. For me, actually, acting in English is much easier than acting in Ukrainian. And I got
Yeah,
my
but
answer.
to remember all those sentences, because I guess you can't improvise. You always have to say line by line or word by word how the author wanted. So you have to remember it. I guess before you have a scene, you always can check the script again, or do you really need to learn it? Because I heard of some other actors, sometimes they get a short notice when they start with a new vertical. And I seen yesterday an interview where the actor got the script 24 hours before he started to shoot. And that's pretty difficult to learn everything. So that's amazing.
I mean, for me, maybe because I've been doing that all my life since I was a kid, learning lines and scripts and everything, it's easy to learn lines. I don't actually like learn them at home. I would just read a script two or three times before I go to bed. Then I go on set and I just read one scene at a time. So I know that we're filming this scene. So I would read it three, four times. I will rehearse it with my partners and then I can do it.
Yeah,
But it's important to say that before that, so my preparation period, I write all of my lines with my hand on a piece of paper because I need to work on my role. And especially I worked on both roles in that vertical. So I needed to do a huge preparation process for that. And I had time for that.
mhm.
When you don't have a time for that, you just like go with the flow. You're just like, okay, okay, I'll say that. I'll do that. And you learn it very quickly. And I have like other my fellow actors. There are some people who can like learn their lines like this, just like, okay, going. For
Wow.
others, yeah, for others, it's harder and you need to like actually learn them at home. I'm lucky I don't have to do that. I can just read it through two, three times and I can act. I can do that. So,
Yeah,
but
that's very
fair
good.
to say that before that, especially with this vertical, I do a huge preparation process. I read a script a lot of times. I write all of my lines. I write what's my motivation in this scene. What I'm saying, but what do I actually mean by saying that? Because usually it's not the same. Like in our real life, we
Yeah,
also do that. We say one thing, but we actually mean the other thing. That's what's
yeah, that's
interesting
true.
in acting. Yeah. So, so I guess learning the lines was never actually a big problem for me, and it's good.
Yeah,
It saves me a lot of time and it gets me a proper sleep at night. I don't have to stay till like 3 a.m. learning my lines for tomorrow.
that's good to hear. Um, I have another question. Is there maybe a funny story which